Them man move like little kids. I just want all this bread. Sweat and tears, man, turn into profit. Hey, racks in the shape, man, lost it. Runners gotta deal with his guilty conscience. Feel my guys on road, have lost it. Talking to shells like magic conches. And these just rolling stones. Why you think he got bands in pockets? Why you think I don't see man often? But when man link up, it's nice. S3, that's a kinky German. 4 O's in the back.
Okay, wow. I feel like it's been a very, very long time. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, a while back, I recorded a video about apprenticeship because I was doing an apprenticeship before. And basically, over the past couple months, I feel like you can hear the birds chirping. Let me close the window, I'm so sorry. My DMs have literally been flooded with questions. Like the comment section of that video, flooded with questions. Like people have been messaging me, adding me on Snap, like asking me loads of questions about apprenticeships, because I'm guessing like September to Jan is like the time people are trying to make those moves. So I thought, do you know what, instead of answering, like, I'm happy to answer everyone's questions, don't get me wrong, but I thought, let me make a follow-up video because a lot of the questions were the same kind of questions. Yeah, I feel like I might have missed out on certain like topics or like frequently asked questions. So I thought, why not just sit down, film another video and, you know, put them all together so that you have like a part 2 to follow up from. If you haven't watched that video, make sure to go and watch it because I feel like I raised a lot of valid points. Basically, on like my social media and stuff, and from the comment section of that video, I literally got a bunch of questions together that were most like frequently asked, and I'm literally just gonna answer them as best as I can. Obviously, like, I'm not a professional, but because I've been through an apprenticeship myself, like I've gone through the apprenticeship process, and obviously I now work in HR. Like I'm very familiar with like the recruitment process, so I feel like I have enough knowledge to help you guys if you are looking for apprenticeships. So before I answer the questions, I think that I'm just going to give you guys an update in regards to what I'm currently doing, because that makes most sense, because I came on here to talk about my experience. If you don't really care, then you can absolutely skip, go to the Q&A part of the video. I'll put a timestamp here. So basically, if you watched the previous video, you would have known that I started doing my apprenticeship in human resources last year in October 2019, literally like a couple months after I finished sixth form. And then I got that apprenticeship and I started in October. So I was doing that apprenticeship from October to September this year, so I almost done it for like a year. So initially my apprenticeship was supposed to be 18 months, but I had a lot of issues with my apprenticeship, like the course provider, etc. And like the place I was doing my apprenticeship with, they were really good on like the experience wise, but I wasn't getting, like, my course just didn't work out for me. So I ended up just like working full time. It wasn't really an apprenticeship, which, don't get me wrong, I feel like I wouldn't change it. Like, I don't regret doing it because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I don't regret it, but all I'm saying is it could have went smoother. Like, I could have had my qualification, but yeah, it is what it is. So I started that in October and I left in September. So I didn't actually get a qualification out of it. I was supposed to get a human resources CIPD out of it, but unfortunately I didn't end up doing my qualification and I left. I left because I felt like I needed a fresh start. Like, I'd been there for a year and I was just doing the same thing. Like, I was working full time. They wasn't really giving me that balance that I looked for. Like, I wanted to study, and you know what I mean? So I just thought, it's not really working out. So I decided to apply for other jobs, which was a very, very brave move. It was very brave because, bear in mind, I'm only 19. Like, I literally just turned 19 in July. So I've only had 1 year of experience in HR. I first started as a HR administrator, and then I moved into like more payroll / HR. Like, honestly, when I was applying, I did not think I was going to get anything. I had 1 year of, not even 1 year of experience, like barely hitting 1 year of experience. I was just like, do you know what? I'm going to go for it. Like, you never know until you try. So yeah. So I applied for a couple jobs in HR, payroll, whatever. And yeah, I ended up getting a job, not an apprenticeship. I just thought, you know what, like, apprenticeships give me not bad vibes, but like, I was just like, no, I'd rather just get a job and I can pay for my course on the side. Because HR is something like, you don't necessarily, like, you can get your qualification outside of doing an apprenticeship. So I looked into that avenue instead. So I managed to get myself a new job in payroll. So that's what I'm currently doing now. I haven't started my course yet because I'm not sure when I want to start it, but I'm living proof that you can get far without a qualification, because I do not have one single qualification in HR and I've got a job in payroll. Like, can we deep that? Yeah, it still gives me the heebie-jeebies when someone books a meeting with me and then I go on camera and they just see this young girl. Like, does she know what she's talking about? Probably not, but yeah, it's a bit mad. But yeah, anyways, that's what I'm doing now. I was kind of an apprentice, kind of not. So, but I have enough knowledge to, you know, let you guys in on some stuff. Anyways, I feel like that was very long-winded. So yeah, I'm gonna get on the Q&A now. I've got questions, but obviously I'm recording on my phone, so I've had to put them on my laptop. First question is, what is the best kind of apprenticeship to do in regards to levels? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's all the levels. So I got this question quite a lot, and like people are asking me what I did and etc. So basically, apprenticeships range from level 3 to level 7. Level 3 and level 4 are kind of like normal qualifications. Like level 3 is more like if you finished GCSEs and you didn't want to go into A levels, you could go straight into a level 3, and that would be like A level equivalent. But you could also do a level 3 after A levels, like it doesn't really matter. Level 3 and level 4 are just qualification based. You can't really make it equivalent to like school qualifications. So it's just like an additional qualification on the side. Level 3 and level 4 may give you like, you can do like business admin ones, obviously HR ones. There's loads of apprenticeships. You like literally, I feel like there's an apprenticeship in almost everything. It's more like MVQ qualifications, etc. If you want to know more about MVQ, then I'm gonna try my best to find links and leave it in the description box, like links of just like explaining the levels in a bit more depth. And then we move on to level 5 and level 6. Level 5 and level 6 are more undergraduate equivalent apprenticeships. Level 5 is more like, you can either get a qualification out of level 5. It's like higher education qualification equivalent, if that makes sense. Sorry, I feel like I'm not making sense, but trust me, I am. I'm gonna find a link that explains it better than I do. But yeah, level 5 is like higher education undergraduate. So is level 6. Now when you get into level 7, that's like degree apprenticeship. You actually go to uni on the side and then you work on the side as well. So there's no right or wrong answer as to what the best kind of apprenticeship to do is, because I feel like it's very like personalized to what you like have done, for example. Because like I know a lot of people that like, for example, my cousin Francine, you've seen her on the channel, she does a degree apprenticeship, and she just came out of sixth form. Like there's no right or wrong answer. I came out of sixth form and I did do a degree apprenticeship. It just depends on what you feel like you want to do. Technically, degree apprenticeships are longer, so there's loads of like differences between the levels. Like degree apprenticeships are usually like 5-6 years, like they're way longer, whereas like level 3, level 4 more like 18 months, and then yeah, you've got level 5, which could be like 3 years. So they all differ, so you have to look at the pros and cons of them. I talk about pros and cons quite a lot, but yeah, you have to look at the pros and cons and see which one you think will work for you. I chose not to do a degree apprenticeship because I wanted to not progress quickly, but like I didn't want to be an apprentice for like a really long amount of time. Like I wanted to just get my course and then start working full time, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you did like an 18-month apprenticeship, like you've got like over a year of experience and then you can just run away and bag your job. Like that's what my thought process was. So my next question is, do I need A levels to do an apprenticeship? Answer to that is no, because there are different levels of apprenticeship. So like I said, if you wanted to do a level 3 apprenticeship, they'll most likely just ask for GCSEs. Some of them ask for like minimum 5 basic GCSEs, including English and maths. Some of them will, like, depending on what it is, like say for example it was like something to do with science, they might want you to have like a specific grade in GCSE science or etc. But honestly it just depends. Most of it, like if you wanted to do a level 3, most of it is literally just like the basic minimum 5 GCSEs, which is fine. As for like degree apprenticeships, they will require you to have A levels, and especially if it's in like a certain field. So say for example you were doing a finance degree apprenticeship, they would want you to have like grade whatever in maths and have studied maths in A levels. So it literally just depends on what you want to do, and it depends on what you have done like in your education background. So the next question is, how many years do apprenticeships last on average? Okay, this wasn't a very great question because I basically just overlapped myself. I basically just said degree apprenticeships are way longer than, you know what, just rewind the video because I clearly just talk so much that I duplicated my own question. Next question is, how long does the recruitment process take? So this is actually quite a good question because they vary across the levels of apprenticeship. Again, that's why levels, like to understand the actual levels is very important. Usually for like level 3, level 4 apprenticeships and sometimes level 5, those 3 in brackets together. So they usually have about 3 to 4 stages in them. So you will do the application, and then you'll have like an online interview, and then you might have assessment center, and then you might have like a face-to-face interview. Those are the 4 like main stages of the apprenticeship process for those levels. For degree apprenticeships, I know there's a lot more stages, and it obviously depends what company you do it with, because I know some companies who do degree apprenticeships, they will have like 7 stages. Like their shortlisting process is crazy, like absolutely crazy. You really have to hold on for your dear life on the recruitment process, because it's actually crazy. Like you will apply, they get so many applicants, so they have to do loads of different stages to try and narrow it down. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, like they have like way over 4 stages. It starts from like 4 stages onwards. So obviously there'll be like the application, then there might be like a normal like selection test online. So that's like multiple questions, like quick little quiz online, and then they might do like an online interview where they ask you questions and you just have to like record yourself saying the answers. A lot of degree apprentices tend to have that style of recruitment. And then after that stage, then they might do a telephone interview, and then after that stage they might bring you in for like a group assessment center day, and then after that they might make you do interviews, and then you get the job. So yeah, it's very long, and then alongside that they want you to have like A-levels grades in this, grades in that, so it just really depends. So yeah, degree apprenticeships are obviously the lengthiest process out of all of them. Next question is, what are the worst things about doing an apprenticeship? This is actually a good question, because I feel like no matter how good apprenticeships are, there's always pros and cons to everything. So we have to be realistic. So from my experience, what I would say is the worst thing about doing an apprenticeship is that sometimes you miss the balance of like having a social life. Like I know technically you should be having a social life, but sometimes I feel like it can get overwhelming, especially like if you do like really complicated like degree apprenticeships, then yeah, it can affect your social life, because you can be working like crazy hours during the week, and then obviously like studying for your exams on the side. Like you have to have very good time management to make sure you get everything done and don't get overwhelmed. So I feel like that's definitely one of the disadvantages, but I feel like you can get around that disadvantage easy. Another disadvantage I would say is just like, it's not technically a disadvantage, but it's just something to bear in mind, is that amount of years that you do an apprenticeship for. Because like I said, degree apprenticeships are long. Of course, like hands down, they're worth it, but you have to like be mentally prepared to stay in that place for like 5-6 years and work there, get your degree, whatever. Like it is like, you have to put your mind to it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think those are like the main ones. Apart from that, I genuinely can't think of any others. If you are an apprentice and you're watching this and you think of any disadvantages, comment them down below to let people know. But yeah, I can't really think of much. The next question is, what are the top 3 advantages of doing an apprenticeship? Top 3 advantages for me is obviously you get the balance between studying and working, which is great. Like I wouldn't want to study full time if you paid me £1 million, because A-levels, they actually finished me, like no. So yeah, and obviously like you're getting paid at the same time, like a big advantage there. Another advantage is the experience. Like I keep telling you, like the experience you get as an apprentice, it will literally like set you off. Third advantage, probably just networking opportunities, because like once you make links in different workplaces that you're at, and like especially if you're in a big company, like I feel like it can be used to your advantage like later on in your career, which is always good. The big advantage for everyone is that you get paid. Like simple, like you start getting paid from a young age. Like whether you start your apprenticeship when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, like bro, you're getting paid. Like, and obviously like you don't need to take out any loans, no student debt, you know, the normal stuff. Okay, another question that I had was, how do I stand out from someone with experience? So with apprenticeships, I feel like when you apply for an apprenticeship, not dissing anyone who has experience and applies for apprenticeship, like apprenticeships, they're meant for everyone. Like even if you've had experience working before, or you've gone to uni, then you decided that you want to do an apprenticeship, like by all means go for it, meant for everybody. But what I am trying to say is that a lot of companies look for people without experience when it comes to apprenticeships, because they want to mold you. Like if you come to them with like traits and habits you already have picked up somewhere else, like they're not gonna necessarily like that, if you get what I mean. Like they want to build you from scratch. So you don't really have anything to compete with if you don't have experience. Like, take it from me, when I was young, I never had a job, like never. I didn't even have a retail job. Like, I did not have a job. I was literally full-time education all the way up until I was 17. And then when I left school, I got my first job as an apprenticeship. So I never had a job, never had any experience, never, literally nothing. But I feel like things to set you apart, like from not having experience, obviously like extracurricular activities that you do in your spare time, like anything that will interest them. Like, your personality is your main asset when it comes to apprenticeships, because I feel like they look for like young, creative, innovative, fresh people. So if you got that, you'll be good. Like, don't worry about competing with people with experience, because it honestly, it doesn't make a difference. Another question I got was, is it hard going straight from school into full-time work? My answer to this is no. I want to say no because in school we actually suffered. Like, school started at 8 o'clock and I was there. You start school at 8:30, you finish at 3 whatever, then you go home and you got to do work that you don't get paid for. So the transition into going to work from like 9 to 5 and then going home and relaxing and not doing anything and getting paid like for your whole day worth of hard work. I mean, but obviously with the commute and like the stress that you might experience at work, like you still experience stress at school. Like, I don't think, it's obviously a big change, but I feel like you can get used to it very quickly. Next question is, did you ever regret not going to uni? Answer is yes, of course I did. When I didn't have my apprenticeship, like literally when I was looking and stuff, I was like, I was so upset, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, oh my God, like I can't find a job. Like, what am I gonna do? I was like, oh, like I wish I just applied for uni. Like, I wish I listened to my teachers who were forcing me to write a personal statement and apply, because then I would have had a backup. But in the end of the day, it was actually quite dumb for me to think like that, because like, if you just heard what I said, they were forcing me to do the personal statement. I didn't want to go to uni. Like, just because I couldn't find what I wanted, it doesn't mean you have to settle for less. And that's one thing I go by in life, like with everything. Just because you don't have what you want doesn't mean you can settle for less because you're impatient. Like, you've got to wait, until you find what is right for you. So I did regret not going to uni, and I am literally such a book bug. Is that a thing? Man said book bug. Book bug? What? Okay, it's bookworm. Right, I'm gonna flag myself for this. Yeah, I literally love reading, I love studying. Like, I can't get enough of it. I genuinely can't. Like, I'm a bit of a neek. In fact, a lot of a neek. I love learning. Like, when I was in school, I loved school. Like, it stressed me the hell out. Don't get it twisted, but I genuinely like loved learning. Like, I loved school. I love writing essays. Like, I miss writing essays so much. Like, I'm tired of writing emails. I want to write some essays. Like, so I feel like if I was actually doing a course, I wouldn't miss education so much and I wouldn't regret not going to uni. But now, like, present day Clara, no regrets. Like, I make my decisions as they are and I don't regret. I don't backtrack. Question is, did you know what you wanted to do straight away? Answer is absolutely not. Like, when I tell you, I had no passion. Like, I told you I like learning, but I didn't have a passion. Like, I loved English lit, I loved sociology, so I didn't really have a passion. Like, when I was in year 12, I was really set on going to do law, but at the same time, I didn't have like an urge. Like, you know, people are like, oh yeah, I want to be a doctor, oh yeah, I want to be this, oh yeah, I want to be that. I had none of that drive, none of that passion. I was just thinking, I'm actually such a bum. But yeah, it's fine. It's actually so fine to not know what you want to do, because I feel like the right thing will come to you. Like, when I was looking for my apprenticeship, I literally just typed in apprenticeships and I was just looking at all the different industries, reading like job profiles and things like that, and just seeing what I thought that I would enjoy. And yeah, I fell into HR and I do enjoy HR. So yeah, you just have to try and see what you enjoy. Like, I don't necessarily feel like you need to have a passion, as long as you enjoy what you do. That's the most important thing. Those are all the questions that I have. I hope I covered most of the questions that you guys have. But I was thinking about doing like a little series on my channel and like doing specific, like a deep dive into specific topics that you want, because genuinely, I didn't expect to get this many questions on apprenticeships. Like, I'm not a guru, but I try. But yeah, I was thinking about doing like a little segment on my channel, deep diving into certain topics to do with apprenticeships and just, you know, giving you guys advice. So if you want me to do that, let me know, and you can obviously send in your topic and what you want me to talk about, etc. So yeah, if you want me to do that, then please do let me know. But yeah, that is gonna conclude this video because I feel like I got through a lot of questions. I don't want this video to be too long. But yeah, as always, if you have any further questions to anything I've said, comment down below, message me on any of my socials, which shall be here and in the description box. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe because I'm actually going to be back on YouTube now, guys. I know I've said this like 25 times and I really annoy myself, but I'm going to be back on YouTube. Like, I'm going to be throwing out content, guys, throwing out content. And if you're not here, you're going to miss out. So make sure you subscribe. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope everything made sense to you. If it didn't, feel free to let me know. But yeah, I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.
For myself, for me, then try and know what, send them back. Fill that thing to the brim. Now we got a whip or two in. Tell my man, so bridges, but more time ain't cool like that.